Welcome to Atheism 101, everybody. I'm your favorite bard, Korak the Bard, and tonight we have a little special treat for you. I am releasing a video about a person I met on Twitter, and he was kind enough to join us for a live stream reaction to that video. Welcome, Based Faith TV. How are you, sir?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing really well. How are you doing?
I'm terrific. So do I call you Based or BF, or what do you prefer?
Whatever's easiest for you. I'd, pretty much just go by Base Faith TV, BFTV, TV, whatever sounds best. I don't want to ask people to call me based. It was kind of a play on faith-based and not like I'm so based, but if it's easier, you can just say based.
Based. All right, we'll start there. So I thought it was kind of cute how when I first invited you here, you said I was obsessed with you. But what you maybe not wasn't very clear about, what you may not understand is I extend the same courtesy to everyone and invite all of my video subjects for a live stream. So they have a fair opportunity to respond to my content. If you have any questions or rebuttals, because I think I'm pretty fair, but of course, I welcome your opinion on that. So congratulations, you're not the object of my obsession, just the flavor of the week. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Well, thank you for that. And of course, it was a little bit tongue in cheek. I didn't seriously think you're actually obsessed with me. The only reason I said that is because when we first interacted, it was like 2-3 months ago, something like that, on my backup account. And then when I got this one, I noticed that you had like posted about me a couple of times and you're like, where's this guy at? I'm going to make a video about him. And I was like, oh, cool. I sent it to some of my friends. I'm like, somebody's making a video about me. Does this mean I'm famous now? And they're like, yeah.
I will say it's because I typically comb the dregs of Rumble. I have a podcast called Ready to Rumble where we look at like people on the Stu Peters network. And it was just kind of serendipitous that you encountered me and started responding to my tweets. And then I found out you had a Rumble channel. So I'm like, oh, you're absolutely in my wheelhouse. This is going to be great.
So free drag fishing over here with Base Faith TV. That sounds good.
Yes, in a heavy, what is it? A target heavy environment.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Well, we get kicked off of all the other platforms. I got my Twitch banned for, I think they called it extreme hate speech or something like that. It was like violent hate speech or something. I'm not a violent person. I don't even know what that meant, but it didn't really tell you it was for me to speak.
Which kind of makes sense because I do say this in the video. I think Rumble is for the people who didn't learn how not to use slurs on YouTube and all the other social media platforms. There's basically just a couple of havens left for folks like you, which I think is fair because if what you're saying is qualified as hate speech and you still don't understand what that is and you were in school to be a lawyer, maybe Google it, look it up, figure it out.
Well, actually, it's, first of all, I'd have to say that it's not that we didn't learn how to not use slurs. It's that we just want to use slurs. It's part of the American and part of the English lexicon, and it's, variety is the spice of life. It helps us emphasize certain points. And I just don't, insofar as I believe in free speech, I think we should be able to say things regardless of whether or not they offend others. And I think slurs are totally fine, just as a matter of speech. I could call someone stupid or whatever, but it's, I guess, not as edgy as saying a slur. But also I would have to say that in America, there is no actual legal object of hate speech. Like there's no distinction in the law between hate speech and regular speech. There are types of speech that are illegal, but it depends on context and intention. It's like inciting violence or directly threatening violence. Something like that would be illegal. But as far as hate speech goes, that was actually decided in a Supreme Court case some years back, that it just doesn't exist, that we don't recognize that in the United States. So that's one of the things I learned in law school.
So I do like that you cop to the fact that we just want to use slurs, which that's your right to do it. I'm not, saying that you shouldn't be using your free speech in the way that you want to. It just means that the rest of society is going to go, okay, so you're stuck in middle school. But we'll leave it there. The video is starting. If you're ready.
Ready when you are.
Awesome. I'm going to share my screen.
Although I do think you said in the Twitter interaction, I said, do we really have to sit through watching one of your videos with the Reddit snark and all that stuff? And you were like, oh, you're not very good at this. Actually, it's just going to be me and you, and we're going to be talking, and then maybe we can watch the video afterwards. But
Yeah,
I'm
no, I
glad
said
we
we'll
sort of
watch
went
it.
back to square one.
Yeah, no, I said we'll watch it, and we can pause it at any time. Like I said, I've got money riding on whether or not you're going to make it to the end of this. So don't disappoint me.
Yeah, I might have to jump off a building or something if it really gets into it. I was watching a few of your videos the other day, and it was excruciating. Are you Gen X?
Further into the bottom of the 101.
I'm sorry.
Are you Gen X or are you millennial?
I'm Gen X.
Okay.
Here we go.
Welcome everyone to Atheism 101. I'm your favorite bard, Korak the Bard, and today we're scraping further into the bottom of the barrel when it comes to the dregs of society. A man so pathetic, so devoid of charisma that even his fellow grifters on Rumble don't want him. Another shining example of my favorite catchphrase: there is no worst, only worse.
It's worse.
As a true Dunning-Kruger specimen, he's convinced that he's my superior. So we're comparing every conceivable metric that I have to offer against a white nationalist who thinks your favorite bard just doesn't measure up. Is this man of God better than the bard?
Let's find out!
It is now my sad duty to have to introduce you to
Based Faith TV.
I feel very fortunate that I've reached a point where I no longer need to go hunting down theists in order to engage with their terrible ideas. Now they come to me from unspecified locations and origins unknown.
Where do all these guys come from?
Regular viewers may remember how Andy Pants showed up at my Twitter doorstep one day and introduced me to his twisted-ass world where putting his own daughter in a video game he made about child trafficking is totally normal. If you haven't seen
What
my
is
deep
that?
dive on him, it's a doozy.
The game looks based. What is that?
That is probably the worst game ever made. I've got a video about that. I'll send you a link if you want to see it. Andy Pants is one of those YouTube guys who says every video game is woke, and he goes into how it's all trans community based and whatnot. And he made his own video game where his daughter, his real life daughter, is in the video game being sex trafficked by the woke mob. It's disgusting. You love it.
It sounds pretty true to life.
Does it now?
Similarly,
It
the more
does.
I scratch the surface of
Based Faith TV.
the worse it got. Don't worry, I'll skip to the good part. He's a Rumble podcaster who got kicked out of Oklahoma City University for violating his suspension in order to dress up as the Joker to post flyers on campus saying it's okay to be white. And naturally, like every other fascist douchebag out there, he's fundraising off of being a terrible human being who refuses to understand that his actions have consequences. So buckle up and enjoy the toxic-ass combination of white supremacy, Christian nationalism, and objectively terrible singing as we explore just how based faith can get. Be sure to stay tuned to the very end of this video for a special karaoke battle where you determine the winner. It's Korak.
I'm on my way, I'm making it.
So we got a new mic since the last time.
Oh, that's good.
I've got to make it show, yeah.
Did you get new vocal cords? That might help.
I'm like a fucking awesome singer.
Based Faith TV.
Showed up during a time of my life when
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said I'm an awesome singer, actually, and you can take that to the bank. And also, I
Right.
mean, karaoke is not really about being good at singing. Like, it's about having fun and goofing
Sure.
around with your friends. So, like, it's almost better. And I say this with my friends when they join me on the karaoke streams. It's almost better when you're not good, but I'm gonna use the excuse that it was my mic. I had one of those little lapel mics, and there's no way to actually like sing loud enough that it captures it without redlining every 5 seconds. But
I hear
don't
they
know,
also
I
make yeah.
I haven't formally agreed to do a karaoke off with you, but we'll see. We'll
Oh.
see how amped up I am at the end of the video. If I
That
wanna
okay, that
fix
part
some of my new gear here.
that's totally optional. I have one built into the end of the video where I have some more choice clips for you. I hear they have mics with auto tune on them now, so maybe look into that.
it's like Spider-Man
maybe.
looking for a villain to punch and finding none, simply beat the shit out of a condemned building to vent his frustration. Fortunately for me,
Faith-based TV.
showed up just as I was looking for a punching bag and found he was happy to play the derelict building to my frustrated Spider-Man.
Finally, I can just sit back and enjoy myself.
It all started when I mentioned the fact that I thought that blood magic worshippers were kind of weird.
I'm bleeding, making me the victor.
And as if to oblige me,
Faith TV based.
decided to prove me right by cranking the weirdness up to 11.
These go to 11.
Here's a sample of his well-reasoned and perfectly logical Twitter missives directed at your favorite bard. No one cares what you think. You don't think. Blah, blah, blah. No, you. Is this the power of atheist wit? You have no talent or this wit. Whole Reddit snark thing you're doing is very gay and cringe. STD, people and content. Go back to Reddit. I was going to offer you the opportunity to debate me.
I would crush you in karaoke.
You couldn't hold a conversation with me for 5 minutes. Oh,
Bro,
you
I
poor,
cooked you.
pathetic child. I hold my own for however long I please. And the rest of the time, there's a line of folks clamoring to take that honor off my hands.
True story.
Sadly, he only threatens to debate me
No,
as there was
doesn't.
zero follow-up. And saying he'd crush me in karaoke?
Ah,
True.
bitch, please.
True.
I took a peek at his Rumble channel, and if you're unfamiliar with Rumble, it's basically a video platform for white supremacists who couldn't figure out how not to use slurs on YouTube. If you want a full breakdown, head over to Podbean to catch me and Doc Scorpion on the Ready to Rumble podcast, where dipshits like
TV-based faith.
are regularly featured. And what's it? This joker claimed he could out-debate and out-sing
Get
your
it,
favorite
Joker?
bard. As he is a true Christian who lives in a world where the claim is the evidence, he didn't deign to engage with me any further to prove just how far he could stomp me into the ground. So I'm afraid I have nothing else to go on besides what he posts online, forcing me to do a comparative analysis between your favorite bard and a man who was kicked out of college for being a racist dickbag. And now it's time for a dramatic reading of Origins of a Racist Dickbag.
No, I think you're really going to like this because these are all your words. I'm telling your story with my voice, of course, but the Joker stuff, I'm actually really glad you dressed up as the Joker because that gave me such an easy thing to work with. So thank you for
minor
that.
correction though.
Oh,
And
okay.
I notice a lot of people have a problem figuring this out, but law school comes after college. So I was kicked out
Right.
of law school, but
Mhm.
I have graduated college. I do have a college degree. So just so your audience knows that
Fair enough.
there's law schools.
What did you major in? You got your bachelor's?
Yep. Bachelor of the Arts in psychology with a minor in biology.
Wow. Excellent. And okay, cool.
Excerpts are the actual musings of a very disturbed racist idiot and bear an uncanny resemblance to the notebook diaries of Kevin Spacey's character in Seven. If you grew up on nothing but a steady diet of 4chan memes, your favorite bard will whisper corrections from off stage. Viewer expression advised.
In 2019, I was expelled from law school and questioned by the FBI over a flyer with just 4 words on it. It's okay to be white. That's 5 words. My scholarship, gone.
you read
My
the
career in
Substack
law, over. My reputation,
Sorry,
You read the Substack article.
I did read the Substack article.
Okay, I thought you were going to take it from
torched
the
in
Twitter
front of the
post.
entire world. The world didn't know your identity. In 2018, I was accepted to law school with a scholarship based on my LSAT score. I went from being the social guy in high school to a loner who only wanted to go home after class. You must be the first. I tried to keep my head down, but the school made it difficult. Every day was another lecture about how America was evil, the justice system was racist, and how it was our duty to, quote, change it. Oklahoma's got
So true.
At the time, I was single and feeling isolated. Can't imagine why. I made a Tinder account, but dating in Oklahoma City felt hostile. Every other profile was some variation of, quote, no white boys. Now you don't like racism. I got bitter.
Red flag.
My sincere bio turned into a trolling one, something I knew would get under the skin of the local dating pool. One activist girl matched with me. She interrogated me over my bio. I answered honestly, but she wasn't looking for honesty. She wanted a scalp. She screenshotted our exchange and sent it to the dean. Clever girl. The next day, I got an email to meet with the dean, an openly gay Jewish man. Anti-Semitic. They slid the screenshots across the table. I denied it was me, and after a half hour, the dean said he believed me. You just admitted you're a lying racist. I left relieved, but furious they'd tried to punish me for a private dating app conversation. No one likes trolls. I vented about it on assuming anonymity. Anon sympathized, and then identified the school and began emailing the dean. Faith in humanity restored. The next day, another email. The school was opening an investigation. They brought in a bulldog prosecutor, demanded my phone, emails, and messages. I refused. What a rebel. This dragged on for months. A week before finals, they held an 8-hour tribunal. That's what you do with Nazis. My lawyer dismantled their case, but they'd already decided the verdict. 1-year suspension, scholarship revoked, mandatory counseling if I return. I lost my housing, my income, and my future in law. I got a pizza job and daydreamed about disappearing. Follow that dream. Then the Joker came out, and you related to the villain. Around the same
I am an
time,
awesome
the
singer,
It's
for the
Okay to
record.
Be White flyer
Just to correct
campaign
that
was
for the
heating up.
record.
Sorry, say again.
Oh, I'm just responding to your friend in the chat. I am an awesome singer, just to set the facts straight for
Yeah.
the future.
So far, survey says,
This is my chance, I thought. I dressed as Joker, painted my face, printed flyers, blasted music, and danced around posting them on the law school building. I was pulling the school's pants down for the world to see. Revolution was lame. A few days later, I came home to a note taped to my door from an FBI agent. The FBI uses Post-its now. When we spoke, he told me the school wanted me, quote, handled. I admitted to the flyers. Days later, the official expulsion letter arrived. This time I saw it coming, and I thought it was funny. I'll bet. The story went global. It did not. Some called me a hero, fellow racist. Others called me a Nazi terrorist. That is correct. Since then, I've lost jobs, good, sunk deeper into debt, good, and worked 2 positions just to survive. Not good enough. But I've also been given a platform. Bad. I've met incredible people, fellow fascists. I've gotten messages from strangers saying my story made them feel less alone. Male loneliness epidemic. If I could go back, I'd be bolder and more honest from the start by being more racist. But I can't, and there's no point
Yes.
in regret or shame. My law career is over. Good. But I'm still alive. Unfortunate. So God must still have a purpose for me. You're a cautionary tale.
What I've done is going to be puzzled over and studied
So
and
true.
followed
So true.
forever.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said so true. As I'm showing the villain from 7, you.
So true. Yeah, he cooked with that.
Okay.
There's some glaring factual inconsistencies here, but I wish you had taken the story from my Twitter super thread, because I don't know if you found the post where I posted that Substack article, but it was like the first thing I put on my Substack, and I posted it with saying that I had just copied and pasted the super thread into like ChatGPT and had them rewrite it in like a narrative form. And I didn't realize until I was watching this video that it really sucked all the air out of the story and kind of removed a bunch of the color. Although I think maybe your narrative abilities kind of grayed it out a little bit.
I think I punched it up. I mean, you relate to the villain. I played the villain. It was just, peanut butter and chocolate, but, for Nazis. But I just, I want to take a beat to recognize that, yeah, we've got somebody here who relates to the Kevin Spacey character from 7. I called it.
True.
You.
So true.
You confirmed it.
So real for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we're at.
And with that, the origin story is complete, and we have our newest supervillain who makes Professor Chaos and Cookie Magneto look like masterminds by comparison.
It is I, Cookie Magneto. Fight me
Oh,
and
the
find
Rick and Morty reference.
And what has the United States become when you...
Sorry?
Just, I was wondering when the Rick and Morty reference was coming.
Oh, of course, yeah. I have a quota.
Kind of thing.
Well, I speak mostly in movie quotes.
Can't dress up as a well-known villainous murderer and post racist bullshit on a campus you've been suspended from.
What is this world coming to?
There's so much I want to delve into with this guy. His misogyny, white nationalism, desperate incel vibes, backwards-ass Neanderthal thinking, terrible singing voice, lack of any kind of production value on his channel, and so much more. But alas, there are only so many hours in a day. I could literally drop the needle anywhere on this record and come up with hours of content. I feel like a dog who's been thrown an entire crate of tennis balls. Where the hell do I start? Maybe we should start
By starting at the end.
And here we go.
Yep, that's me. My story on the front page of National Law News next to a picture of Harvey Weinstein.
True.
You're probably wondering how I got here. Well, don't worry, I'll voluntarily tell you instead of moving on and walking away from the absolute mess I've created out of my life. I mean, I'm still young, no one mentioned me by name in the papers because I'm still a minor, and nobody reading this on the internet will ever know who I am personally.
Be right
So I
back.
could potentially learn from this horrendous lack of judgment, or I could double down on my racism and make it my entire personality. If you think that's
This is
a worthy
terrible,
endeavor,
by the way,
please
in
donate
case
to my
anybody's watching.
GoFundMe, where I whine about how I've been victimized by the system, when all I did was dress up like the Joker, trespass on a college campus that had suspended me, and all I was trying to do was spread the message that it's okay to be white. If you go to my Rumble page, you can find me streaming for hours at a time when I could be seeking gainful employment, while I stare blankly at the screen as I play Fortnite like a rank amateur. Rebroadcast Nick Fuentes bullshit while I simply listen and provide no commentary. Then have a snack while I try to talk into the mic and eat at the same time. Topping it all off by singing some objectively terrible karaoke.
Asking him to change his ways.
God damn.
And have the occasional
That's
crash
so
out
good.
as I play the perpetual victim.
Well, fucking faggot loser, you petty, fucking faggot, cross-eyed ginger piece of shit. Fuck you. Suck the fattest part of my fucking ass, you stupid fucking faggot.
in a world full of fascist.
Cooked.
Yeah.
I cooked.
You okay,
on that
bro?
stream. That was so good.
That was okay. Yeah. I'm glad you're standing by your words. And
Hell yeah, dude.
Awesome.
That's what I'm
Grifters
here
who are actually making quite a comfortable living off of being garbage people. It's nice to see at least there are some turds so smelly that they're not invited to the Get Rich Quick Grievance Grifters Club. Since he couldn't get the originator of the It's Okay to Be White movement to platform him on Rumble, he had a bit of a crash out when he realized that he was too repulsive even for the
Who's that?
cesspool that is the Rumble sphere.
I can't even get this fucking guy to give me an interview. He said he was going to give me an interview. He's the It's Okay to Be White guy.
It's
So,
true.
my guy,
Elijah
you heard a
Schaefer
Rumble
sucks.
podcaster say it's
so
okay.
I'll give you some advice there. When I first personally spoke to you, not just back and forth bullshit on Twitter, and your response was, I can only describe it as trying to cage a rabid Tasmanian devil. I was saying hello, and you were spitting and sputtering and barking. So, and I know the Rumble sphere is a little bit of a different culture over there, where that's kind of the course du jour, but a little sweet talk can go a long way. That's my advice
Well,
to you.
it's, as you heard, he had already invited me on the show,
Mhm.
and then he got
So
fired from the Blaze for sexual harassment or something like that, and then he started his own show, and then we had sort of a pause in our communications, and then by the time I got around to asking him again, I guess he was a little bit too famous for a young nigga like me.
So did you just say the N-word on my stream?
My bad. I didn't. It was with an A. It was not with a hard R. It's just part of my. I've been trying to be good. Okay, I didn't mean to do that.
Exhibit A, folks, in how they just can't fucking help themselves. They have a vocabulary of a 12-year. No.
I was glazing myself by.
I
saying
get
I'm
what
a
you're
white
doing,
guy.
but they're so enamored with these vocabulary words that they can't help themselves when it's restricted. And it is very fucking restricted for very good reason, because hate speech is violence. And we'll get into the whole that's a whole other conversation, but you are on thin fucking ice, and I shall be under it when it breaks. Do not fuck up again.
Did you just
you
say
under-
hate speech is violence?
Yeah. Do you understand me?
No, dude. I don't
right.
understand that at all.
All right, then. We're going to finish the rest of the video, and I'm going to mute your mic.
okay to be white, you ran with that dumbass slogan, made it your whole personality, decided to proselytize hatred to your fellow co-eds, and are now facing the consequences of your actions. Naturally, being a supreme genetic specimen of the master race, none of this is your fault. And it's not only the woke left's fault, but it's apparently also the fault of your fellow fascists on Rumble because they won't platform your dumbass.
This one fucking guy has the wealth, power, and influence to give me an interview and change my whole life, but I didn't ask the right way? Fuck you!
Look, this has
See, I gave you some advice, man, and that's good advice. A little sweet talk goes a long way. And what you're doing now is saying you didn't give me what I want, so I am going to do a complete 180. And what's the guy's name? It's like Elijah something?
Elijah Schaefer.
Okay.
And I sweet talked him so good for like 2 years, and he ghosted me after saying he was going to have me on his much bigger show on the Blaze. So I think I'm more than entitled to a little bit of a rage crash out once in a while.
That's a beautiful word, entitled. So, and I didn't know this part. So Elijah worked at the Blaze with Glenn Beck, got fired for sexual harassment. You still, something like that. And you still wanted to hang out with him because that's not a deal breaker for you.
No, I didn't want to hang out with him. I wanted to use his platform to grow my platform.
I see. Okay. And how big is his base on Rumble?
Oh, I have no idea. I know he's got a bunch of followers on Twitter, and that's kind of where I focus the bulk of my online activities.
Gotcha.
I agree. I am more than entitled to rage crash out. I think I was perfectly within my rights there. Thank you for that.
We don't agree on that. I'm just noting that, that's the way you want to go, bro. I mean, it reminds me the first time I, got dumped by a girl, like I had a crash out, but that doesn't mean I was entitled to take it out on her and tell her that she was wrong. Because if they say no, they mean no. But that's a whole other debate.
Right?
What was that?
Are you married, by the way? Are you married and like with kids?
I was married for 13 years. I've been divorced for about 10 years.
Oh, that sucks, bro. I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh no, I'm terrific friends with my ex-wife. In fact, she came and visited me in Costa Rica for my birthday this year. We're much better friends than we are spouses. So, lesson learned. It went well. And I understand you have 2 kids of your own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And do you use slurs around them? I'm just curious.
I try not to use any sort of like offensive language around them generally, but my kids, they are going to know the reality of the demographic situation we live in. Like, for instance, with my daughter's toys, my oldest, she's got like a couple of those doll houses. One of them's like a Disney princesses one, and it came with a Cinderella and a Jasmine from Aladdin. And there's only one bed and bedroom in like the princess castle they have. So I always, at the end of the night, I always make sure that Cinderella's sleeping in the bed and Jasmine is sleeping on the front porch next to the gate into the castle, just so she understands from like a subconscious level the order of things.
Yeah, we kicked the brown one out and we put the white princess in the bed. That's
right. That's right.
There's nice guy energy written all over it. Hey, I was nice to you and very polite, and you wouldn't give me what you want, so fuck you, you whore. I swear this guy could charm the paint off walls. This is normally the part where I say, ladies, he's single, but he says he has a wife and kids. The poor things.
So how long have you been married now?
Going on 3 years now.
Did you meet her dressed up as Joker, or was she another, like you met at a cosplay convention, you were both Jokers and it was just love at first Joker sight?
No, actually we met before the whole "it's okay to be white" thing, but yeah, she's amazing.
So she met you before you got kicked off campus and then expelled.
Well,
and
I
she
was
stuck.
suspended at the time, but yeah, it was before I got expelled.
Suspended, then expelled. Yeah, as we just saw the whole thing, man. So she knew you through that whole thing, stuck with you anyway. So I take it she also is a right winger who thinks there's a white replacement theory, white genocide going on.
Well, she's just a good woman, and she lets me do the thinking. She doesn't believe that women should vote. She's believed that since before I met her, but she's just a good woman. She's a good traditional woman, and yeah, she knows for a fact, as the rest of us that live in reality do, that White genocide is currently taking place. White
All right,
replacement
shut up with
is a
that.
reality.
Shut up with that.
Fact,
No,
it's
no,
reality.
we're not doing that.
That's the reality we live
We're
in.
not doing that. I wrote a whole song about that. We can visit that later. And I sang it way better than you ever could. So, yeah, enough about that.
Please listen to that.
Yeah, that's fine. Wow. Where was I going to go with that? All right. You said your wife doesn't think women can vote. Did your wife
I think women
vote?
should vote.
So did your wife vote though?
She didn't want to, but I told her, as I do agree with her, that women shouldn't vote. But insofar as they have the ability to,
You win the hypocrite dum dum prize. I don't think
if
you
you
should
can-
vote, but I'm
do
going
you
to
wanna
do it
let-
anyway.
do you want to let?
No,
me
go
finish
ahead.
the
Yeah,
show?
no. Here's some more rope, man. Make that news. Go ahead.
Dude, you've got a little bit of overconfidence for not so much delivery.
Because I
but
know what the fuck I'm talking about, and I'm talking to a goddamn weasel who got expelled from school.
You don't. But yeah, no, neither of us believe that women should vote. But because women can vote, less of them voting for the right candidate is actually a bad thing. So as long as women have the right to vote, we need to maximize the amount of women voting for the right candidates. Now, I voted for Trump. We both voted for Trump.
Oh,
but-
did you? Because that was funny. Because when I did ask you earlier what your political affiliation was, and you said you're not a Republican. So when I asked you what you were, you said America First, which is a Republican slogan. So and you voted for Trump. So you're what?
Well, I don't think America First is a Republican slogan. And if it is, they're failing to live up to it.
Okay, he's literally got it printed on the caps, dude. Like where the fuck?
That's Nick Fuentes's hats.
Oh, and who did he
His show
vote
is
for?
called America First.
Who did
didn't
he vote for? Was it Kamala?
He didn't.
He didn't vote.
Actually.
Well, maybe men shouldn't vote. They're very emotional.
I know you're kind of a simp, right? Isn't that like sort of your whole thing?
Who am I simping for? Oh, was it you? Because you said I was obsessed with you when I just told you your
well,
flavor of the week.
That for well,
That.
and the flavor of like the last 3 months, because I
No.
forgot all about you and you're still posting about me regularly. But we already went over that. I don't know if you want to relive
Yeah.
that. And
Oh,
then
no,
you like
I'm-
begged me to come on your show and stuff, and
Begged.
now you're
That's
acting
great.
like you're a big shot or something. It's
Begged.
really funny and cute.
Well, we're going to get into more of all of that measurable stuff. Actually, I think we're about to get into the numbers part.
In addressing me, since I'm neither a woman nor a minority, and he couldn't use his typical slurs, he decided to make a crack about my YouTube subscription
Oh,
numbers.
yeah, here we go.
And as I've explained in other videos, starting a channel from scratch and gaining over 1,000 subscribers in about a year is pretty good for an anti-theist bard from out of left field. But since he brought up the old numbers game, let's take a look at his.
Oh no!
You mean to tell me that even on a platform that caters to con men, he can't get his game up into triple digits? I think this guy may just suck at everything. Which brings us to the
Are we
actual
talking about
content
Rumble?
he produces. And I wouldn't subject my dear viewers to too
Sorry?
This is the Rumble is the platform you're talking about here.
Well, I just showed you Rumble and YouTube platforms on the
well,
screen that we're looking at.
Just to be clear, I think we went over this as well when we were interacting. I could have used slurs if I wanted to. I don't think there was.
You do.
I couldn't. So well, you
You
said
do
in the
all-
video, I couldn't use my usual slurs, so I had to like do some other thing or something. I totally could have if I
Okay.
wanted to, but I just decided not to.
I see what you're
Like I'm so
saying.
graciously doing on your show here, but
I
also-
could have been a bigger piece of shit, but I decided against it. Hey, congratulations, you're not a heroin addict. All right, that's where we're setting the bar. Continue. Go ahead.
You're making a lot of moral judgments about me and about
Yeah.
slurs and like racism and stuff, but like you're
So what?
an anti-theist.
Yeah.
So it seems incoherent to me.
So I can't have an opinion on what's good or wrong because I'm an anti-theist? Because, okay, hang on. If your answer is yes, we need to schedule round number 2 because that's a whole other thing, which I would be happy to walk you down that road.
Well, you can have an opinion, but it just is incoherent from your worldview.
I'm pretty sure it's coherent, and it aligns with people of all faiths who also agree slurs have no acceptable place in our society. Like
That's
other
actually-
people have subjectively discovered
Subjectively
and
true.
objectively not true. Okay. There's just so much here, man. All right, but I want to get through this. We're almost done. So after that, we can start yelling at each
Thank
other.
God.
much footage of
TV faith-based.
for fear that prolonged exposure can lead to cringe-induced injuries. But here's a sample along with what would be production notes if he had any.
So Trump promised that he wants to make the 2017 tax cuts permanent. The tax
He
cuts in
assaulted a woman for
2017
ringing
were
his
passed
doorbell.
using
You're
the
just
budget
sitting there.
reconciliation process.
You're doing nothing.
Well, I was
thing at
typing
is
too.
that
I was playing a little
like,
game,
and then
texting.
you know,
This
honestly,
is
to be
riveting
honest, there's,
stuff,
like, one
man.
other person, but
A1, top-notch
I
quality.
like kind of act
Yeah, I'm like a
like
professional grade streamer. That's mainly
like
what
I've
I
kind
do.
of trolled people.
Do we get
like,
you
I've never done
eating
this
a
with
fruit
you,
roll-up at some
so,
point? Maybe some
wait,
Doritos?
You just made me
I,
think of
you
it.
know, I could go get some.
But
I figured
like
Doritos
I'll
would be
just
too
be
loud,
like,
but I bet a
yeah,
fruit
that's my
roll-up would
all.
probably be pretty good.
Yes, do not eat on this stream.
I hope he
No.
changes his mind and invites me on his show so I can tell him to shove his fucking gay show up his fucking ass with his libs of TikTok
So
reposts.
true.
You fucking piece of shit. Fuck
So
you.
true. So lame.
I should be an attorney by now. I lost my future. And yeah, it was my fault. I shouldn't have done what I did. I should have been smarter
That's
about it. But
true.
I lost my future. Ever since then, I've been scraping to create a new future for myself from
That's so
scratch.
true. That's so real for that.
You also suck at video games.
No, I know. I talk about that all the time on my stream.
Sam Hyde. I get worried that somebody's gonna like our friend. Jason,
Sad.
right?
Sad. It makes me sad.
Since it's Lent, I'm not
I
saying
have all the time in the world to play video, so I
whatever.
don't think it's really consistent.
Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostri.
Amen.
My heart goes out to you, Big
Hey.
Bongo. God bless you.
Yeah.
Fuck you to anyone who does that shit.
Hey, my heart goes out to you too.
It's just like fine,
Oh.
whatever.
Yeah, here's the alpha male shit. Yeah, beat that woman, man.
You know
Hell,
that
yeah,
when
dude, I
you're
cooked-
interacting with
I
a
cooked on
man,
that stream.
if you say the wrong thing, there's like a
Double
very
down-
real
hit
chance
that
of
double
getting
down
popped in the
button,
mouth.
man.
Like you have
You're
to
doing great.
You know, as a man
Quadrupling down.
speaking with other men, that like there's the underlying threat of violence,
That's
and
true.
you have to operate sort of. within
God,
that
say that
framework.
to my
But women
face in a
just don't
bar. I
understand
fucking
that.
dare
They
ya.
don't understand that like, at any moment a man could just call
tough
off
guy or
and
something.
beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
You don't see
Ooh,
that.
never back. It's just.
Hell yeah.
Asking him to change his ways.
I just threw up in
You
my
can
mouth a little
blindly
bit.
throw a dart at this board and either get dead
Why do
air
you keep
or a
cutting it
racist,
off? I wanna
misogynist,
listen.
anti-Semitic, small dick, energy-fueled rant. There is very little in between. What's truly
JBP,
sad is
you
how
guys are
close he
so
comes to
cringe,
grasping
dude.
that he
You guys
could
don't
live a
understand
fine,
where
quiet
you're
life
coming
with his
from here.
family. But like a true self-centered, entitled dickhead, he just can't quite get there.
I've got a wife and kids. I've got babies to feed. I've got a white family, and I'm just trying to get out there and tell my story. I'm just trying to build a brand or something so I can put food on the table for my family because I've got 3 fucking jobs.
Then stop being a racist dickhead, you racist dickhead!
Ladies and gentlemen,
No, why would I do
behold
that?
the consequences of being a small-minded racist.
Because of all the
piece
things you
shit.
just
You
bitched
don't
about.
follow
Society
the
doesn't
one
give a
who
fuck if you're
those
racist.
among
Get the
us who
fuck
are
out. We have no
reckless
time
to
for your
disposable
bullshit.
income. Then you're left out in the
Well, I
cold in a
think that-
world
I
that
think
doesn't
that's changing
tolerate
pretty quick.
racism, fascism, and every other ism you support. We've literally fought wars over it. And guess who we were fighting? People like
wars over
you,
racism.
white supremacists, Christian nationalists.
So much for the
fascists,
intolerant
the kind
left,
of douche
huh?
canoe who thinks it'd be clever to go
I
trespassing while
haven't
dressed
heard
up as the
any one of
Joker
my
and
friends
post
say
"It's
that,
okay to
like,
be white"
I
signs.
mean,
on
you
the
relate to
campus
the
of a law
villains, so
school.
guess
You
which
said you
side
were
I
doing
painted
well in
you
law
as
school,
here.
But I guess all that
Oh, no, I'm not a
DEI,
Nazi.
CRT, BLM woke indoctrination that
Oh,
white
not
leaders
a
like you are always
Nazi.
bitching about didn't
Yeah, if the
sink
swastika
in.
fits.
Probably because you're tone
Oh,
deaf on top of being
no.
a complete
Swastika,
buffoon.
Thumbs up.
bro.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
come on,
watch
not
it
me.
grow.
I find it hilarious that a man like this could dig a hole for
Come
himself
on,
so
just a few
deep while
seconds of
playing the
video. I wanna
victim when
listen.
other Rumble podcasters are unwilling to give this idiot a platform so he can grift off a piece of their pie. And he's not even subtle about it either. He knows that someone
Zero.
from the Stu
Zero
Peters
subtlety.
network or any other big name on Rumble could turn his little pity story into a cash cow, and then he'd have that sweet, sweet speed bag Benny Shapiro money.
So strong he knocks himself out.
and it could change my whole family's life.
Seriously.
It could change my
Somebody get
family's
this
life. It
Elijah
could change
Schiffer.
my life. It could finally set me up in a place for the first time in 6 years where I don't have to worry every month about how I'm going to pay my bills, to keep my family in our house, to keep food on my table, to provide for my kids.
I sincerely hope this poor, pathetic fascist keeps chasing that dream as his world crumbles around him. Because as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to fascist pigs like
Based TV Faith.
it's no less than they deserve. Not that I'm advocating violence. I simply recall a time that the rest of the world stood up to Nazis. And that's the world I hope we can return to someday.
Hey, shoot that guy.
Until then, making social pariahs out of deserving fuckwits is a step in the right direction. Well, that'll wrap her up for today, folks. In these dark times, I'd like to remind you that although the rising of a weak-kneed milquetoast version of a Fourth Reich may seem terrifying, it's important to remember that fascists are just scared little bullies. Stand up to them individually and call out racism when you see it, and they crumble like the pitiful cowards they are. Because at the end of the day, they have nothing but their empty hatred. Any weasel, before we get to the karaoke battle as promised, thanks for watching. And as always, a huge thank you to my patrons and subscribers. If you want early and exclusive access to your favorite bard, do join us at patreon.com/KorakTheBard and receive your own theme song written by your...
As I'm saying thanks to everybody, we're about to get to the karaoke battle. So we'll see where the night takes us after this, because
Finally, if you'd like to
I do
support
love
my
karaoke.
recovery following my
Fifth heart attack.
Oh yeah, I had 5
I
heart
started a
attacks.
GoFundMe of my own. Unlike the right
5 heart attacks.
side
Really?
of
Is
the
that
aisle,
true?
I'm not trying to raise money for
It's a record for me.
because I'm an
Personal
unrepentant
best.
racist. Rather, I'm trying to
That's
recover
so
from
much
some
a problem.
serious
Why
health
do you have
issues I've
heart
been dealing
attacks?
with for some
What are you
time.
not
So any effort
changing
you can
about your
make on that
lifestyle?
front is incredibly appreciated. Your money, resources, time, support, likes, and subscribes mean the world to me, and I can't thank you enough. The outpouring of support since my latest heart attack has been overwhelming, and I'm extremely grateful. And sure as the sun rises in the east, I will uphold my oath as a bard and eventually thank you all in song. So now, as we draw to a close, I leave it to you, dear viewer, to decide who has the
Okay,
superior
here we go.
singing voice.
Wait,
I'm sorry I
wait.
have to expose you to the voice of,
TV-based faith.
This is for posterity, so be honest.
and I leave it to you to decide.
All right.
Warning, the following clip may cause nausea, disorientation, bleeding ears, brain aneurysms, and an overwhelming feeling that you will never again experience joy. Viewer discretion advised.
My eyes
Wait,
getting
wait.
bigger,
So
and my
I just want to make
nose,
sure.
my belly is getting bigger, and my bank account. Look at my circumstance, and the bulge in my big.
Yeah.
Okay, you wanted to say something. Let me let you respond.
Yeah. So like I'm sad because I
So am I.
went to law school for like doing like maybe you wouldn't consider it street activism. I don't know if I like calling it street activism, though I don't know how to describe another like mode of putting up political propaganda and getting your life destroyed for it. But like I've got a give, send, go set up for that. But
No, I call it simply overt racism. And if you're going to say, here's the thing, you were completely
because you're
no.
like fat or something.
No, you were completely anonymous. They didn't release your name. Nobody knew who you were. You could have just been to the local group that you are surrounded by, the kid who got kicked out of college. Literally nobody else, especially on the internet, knows who the fuck you are. Law school, yeah. Okay, you got kicked out of school. All right, literally nobody else had to know about that, but you made it your entire fucking personality and went live with it. So now everybody knows you as the kid who got kicked out of law school and the Rumble asshole. So anyway, I'm going to outsing you real quick and then we'll wrap
that
it
was
up.
the best that
Based TV faith.
could come up with. Let's see if I can
never
top
agreed
that.
to doing
As
karaoke.
always, I'm your favorite bard,
Hang on,
Korak
I'm gonna
the
sing
Bard,
here.
singing off with a little Johnny Cash. Love is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring. Bound by wild desire,
I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire.
Okay, that's enough of that. Okay, we reached the end. You win the pool. Congratulations. You made it all the way through. I actually have to give you credit for that because you're the first one. You're the first one to actually go live with me. Other people have responded to my videos with various things. We've had a little back and forth. It's been fun, but nobody joined me on a live stream. Granted, I haven't started doing live streams until recently. But you got to break my cherry, and I thank you for doubling down on everything that you did and acknowledging that I was, correct in my assessment, at least from my point of view, but also represented you honestly.
To talk about it, or
yes, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Because that's what I came here for. I felt like right after that you were gonna end the stream and.
Well, I'm not a dick. I'm going to give you a chance to make yourself look worse. I still got plenty of rope, man. Make that news. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, what we have is a total gap in culture here because you come from, I guess, like a Marvel Comics universe where like your life is, you're like a Netflix movie protagonist, and
I can't wait to see where this analogy goes. I'm here for it.
Glorious bastards, and the people that are to the right of you are like Nazis, and we all gotta have like swastikas carved into our scalps and stuff. But like where I'm coming from, and I know like in that universe, people are like scared of being called racist and misogynistic and homophobic and transphobic and all that stuff. But, like, I don't care, dude. Like,
obviously.
I don't know how many people you interact with on the actual right wing anymore, but
it's kind of my job.
Times have changed. It doesn't seem like it because you don't
really.
You and your friends in the comments don't really seem to understand what the score is.
Oh, here's how well I understand, and I've actually done better than you in another area, your area, on your home turf, on Rumble. I got onto the Teddy Daniels show, the K, whatever her name is, the female Alex Jones show. I got an interview with Jesse Lee Peterson. I got in with like a dozen right-wingers just by pretending to be a shitbag like you and mind my Q's and P's so that I was polite enough to come to the door and lend my sultry, silky voice to their podcasts, their radio broadcasts, and their TV programs. So I was able to accomplish what you weren't. And it was all on a whim. It was all a goof because you guys don't stand by what you mean. You're ridiculous. We just spent the last half hour talking about the show that you tried to get on. They wouldn't platform you
specifically because he's like adjacent to the dissident right. But although like I would never go on some woman's show. I don't know who the first person you said was. Tony something.
Teddy Daniels.
Teddy Daniels. I don't know who that. I've never heard of that person before.
Yeah. He's on the Stu Peters.
But like he's not. I'm a Catholic. He's like.
So Teddy Daniels is on the Stu Peters network. So you're hanging out with like the worst of the worst on Rumble, and you still can't even make your nut there. So I'll address what you said. I just want to be clear. You're rolling with the worst of the worst on Rumble, and you can't even get your nut up to that level. Like that's the saddest fucking part.
What am I rolling with on Rumble? I stream like infrequently. I don't have like a community there. I focus.
You're trying to build a brand. You're trying to build a brand. Where is the brand?
The brand is on Twitter. Whereas your brand
where you've got
videos and streaming and stuff on YouTube and whatnot.
Where you've got what, like a couple thousand subscribers?
Your subscribers are.
Yeah, you've got a couple thousand.
Followers actually just passed 3,000 today. Congratulations.
Yeah, we go. Awesome possum. So you can be terminally.
My racism and stuff is seen by like many thousands more people than any of your videos, which is.
So you're terminally online on Twitter,
less time and effort to make.
And you've got 3 times my audience on Twitter, but on your actual streaming platform, I've got Anyway, I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought because This is getting dumber by the minute. But let me give you did you actually want to talk about something, or are you about done?
Are you trying to cut and run? Are you running
No.
already? You don't want to give me like a moment to try to challenge you a little bit?
I'm allowed. Yes, I'm giving you the floor to decide. If my Reddit,
but then you keep jumping in and cutting me off with your Reddit snark.
my Reddit snark. Oh.
Yeah, I know. You're so Reddit, dude. You're a straight up Reddit character.
Why don't you go storm the Capitol about it? I don't even go to Reddit.
Yeah, you did, bro.
No, now you're calling me a liar, and that's fucking stupid.
For sure.
Reddit is hard on the eyes. I don't
You
even.
you actually admitted that you're a liar earlier because you said you pretended to be.
I pretended to be a Proud Boy, a piece of shit, racist MAGA, and it was like the Mirror Mirror episode of Star Trek, where it's easy to pretend to be a beast. It's impossible for a beast to pretend to be a man. And you've been pretending for a good long while. You only had one slip up with the N-word earlier, but I do applaud the fact that you can control yourself and not use slurs in a place where it's prohibited. So, congratulations. This is for you.
I mean, look, I'm just doing it out of kindness because
You're so kind.
If I really wanted to. Yeah, but like that was my whole thing.
If I really wanted to. See, that's that spousal abuse like position. Like, I could hit you, but I won't. And now you're going to tell me I'm a kind man.
And then you can't even control
You don't know what's good for you.
You can't control yourself for like 5 seconds.
I'll give you control.
You threatened me with violence. Like
I did? When?
Yeah.
What was I going to do?
Say that to my face in the bar, bro.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you brought that up.
Disrespect females.
Okay.
In front of
No.
me, bro, 'cause I'll give you a knuckle sandwich.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. If we were in a bar and you were saying that same shit to me, saying, you've got to, you've got to understand when you're talking. I'm going to finish. All right, hang on. I'm going to finish my thought. So if you can't control yourself, your mic's muted. If we were in a bar and you were saying, yeah, just wham, I fucking got to do that, dude. You got to understand, man. There's always this underlying thing of violence, right? There's always a bigger guy. There's always a bigger guy. Say that to the bigger guy, because if you're used to being in a place where there's always the threat of physical violence just because of the person you're talking to happens to be a man, you're talking to the wrong fucking people. Like you're a goddamn Neanderthal. You don't know how things work in fucking society, and that's why you can't get a goddamn job. Because if you went into Best Buy and tried to get a job and say, oh, sometimes you gotta lay the hammer down. Like this Neanderthal is not civilized enough to work at a Best Buy.
I'm trying to get a job.
Well,
and by the way, I have a job, by the way. And
so you understand. Okay, that's an admission. You're just telling on yourself at this point, because what you just admitted to was, well, I wouldn't say that publicly to another person, like for a job in a professional setting, because it's unacceptable. You understand the concept.
No. It's situational awareness. Why would if I'm applying for a job, in what context would I ever be talking about the underlying threat of violence in human interaction? And you literally just demonstrated that you believe in that by saying, well, if you're going to disrespect women, then go up and say that to the biggest guy at the bar then, bro, because then you'd probably get beat up. And it's like, okay, well, that was my whole point. And that's why men, when they're talking to other men, they have to be like careful and not call them certain words. Like if you ever watch 60 Days In or whatever it is, that show where they
you are saying that from a position of you better watch out or I'm going to do it. But dude, having that attitude,
you'll just get a fight.
Having that attitude is to make this topical. Is similar to Charlie Kirk saying, you know what, some gun deaths are acceptable. And that is what is going to keep the Second Amendment great, because it's just stuff that we have to sacrifice. Well, he got fucking sacrificed and you guys didn't like it because you didn't think he would be the victim, did you?
Well, I mean, are you just like a terrible person, or do you consider yourself to be a good person, actually?
I'm an awesome person.
You really think you're a good person?
Yeah, I'm not the one spreading hatred towards minorities, all this trans bullshit, which, by the way, is less than 1% of the population. I'm not the one who dressed up like the fuck. See, that's the difference with MAGA. You don't understand the nuance. You don't understand the nuance between saying this guy was, no, yeah, let me explain it to you. Now shut the fuck up and I'll explain it to you. The nuance is I can not celebrate his death. I can not advocate for violence. And I can also not give a shit if what he reaps, he sows. That's not a celebration. That's okay. Well, somebody burned the arsonist's house down. Sucks to be him. Sorry, I'm not going to mourn with you. I understand you're in mourning because you've idolized this 31-year-old college dropout who goes not exclusively, but he goes to college campuses. It's like, bitch, you couldn't get in if you signed an application. So what the fuck are you bringing your TP USA there for? This is a place of learning, and you have failed to learn any fucking thing. He was brought out of obscurity by what was that guy's name? Brandon, the billionaire guy.
So
Put him
you're
on the
like
map.
a bad person, in other words.
I don't tolerate intolerance. And I'm not the one having a crash out because so-and-so wouldn't invite me. Elijah wouldn't invite me. I'm brainwashed. Oh, do tell me. How did that happen? What am I
Can you
brainwashed by?
actually give me like a minute to make a point before you jump down my throat with your Reddit snark, please?
Floor is yours. Try to keep it clean.
Without muting me, because you like to do that.
I'm going to get some
On my
wine.
show, by the way, we would have like an open back and forth, and it would be awesome. It'd be good content, but you're like kind of a tyrant.
You're kind of a Nazi. So I'm going to get some wine. I'll give you the whole time. I'm getting wine. I'll be right back. Make your point. Try to keep it clean.
Okay. So, in the first place, this Joker has no place to be making moral claims at all. So to say he's a good person and that Charlie Kirk's bad, but also I want to be very clear. I've never been like a big Charlie Kirk guy. I think what happened to him is absolutely atrocious. It was evil. It happened in front of hundreds of people, hundreds of college students, and his family. He had a beautiful wife and 2 little children. I think his daughter was like 3 years old, and his youngest, a boy, was basically just an infant. I guess he was just starting to toddle around. But the argument here is that saying words that offend certain people is violence, but it's okay to kill a 31-year-old man and he was like the most peaceful of all of us. He wasn't even part of my circles because he's not far right enough to be one of us. But like they murdered him for being like a Nazi or a fascist or whatever. And they murdered him in front of his family, in front of hundreds of people, hundreds of kids. And like, that's okay. He got what was coming to him. But if you say a bad word, then that's wrong. Coming from somebody who has no foundation for moral claims whatsoever to say that like, I'm going to get really upset and you fucking understand me if you say a slur one time. And then you say like, it's okay for a young man to be brutally murdered in front of his family. Like,
okay, I'm going to stop you there. When did I say it was okay for that to happen? Because I was just about to let you finish and say, here's where we agree. Charlie Kirk should not have been murdered. Absolutely. I don't condone political violence. I never have. It only turns you rabid fucking hyenas into a more frenzied group of fucking piranhas. So it does no good. The backlash is stupid. So yeah, I don't advocate for political violence. So you just put a ton of words in my mouth, which means fuck all. Yes, really, because I was agreeing with you. Charlie Kirk should not have been murdered. So now
I saw your Twitter posts, bro. You've been making light about it for 2 days. You tried to make light about it on the stream.
Yeah, you know why? Because you don't like it when I act. No, you don't like it when I act the way you do. You don't like the way I act when I'm acting like you. Because you guys, you've got George Floyd, you've got the riots, you've got January 6th. You've said abominable shit about so many people, and you don't fucking like it when I do too. But I did not do any of that to say, oh yeah, that should have happened. No, I don't condone the violence part. I do condone saying, well, yeah, let's tell the truth about what he said. He was a piece of shit who said if you go back to the 1950s and treat trans people the way they ought to be treated. Yeah, and you're go ahead. This is hilarious.
I don't know, like so many of these arguments are just so tired and they've been so thorough.
And true. I mean, I'm tired day in, day out, but I also speak the truth. So, whether it's a tired argument.
Stop having heart attacks. You wouldn't be so tired all the time.
Yeah, and you should start getting jobs that you can't get fired from because you're a piece of shit.
What jobs can you not get fired from exactly? Can you name a couple?
Ones where you make yourself an indispensable worker, one where they can rely on you, and one where you don't say in the back room that, oh, by the way, I think there's I guarantee. All right, tell me if I'm wrong. Let me ask you a very serious question. Have you ever gotten let go from a job because of something you said to a coworker, like about white replacement theory or something like that?
No.
Oh, so you know that you got to keep that shit under wraps when you're in public, don't you?
Yeah, I know that you're.
Yeah, because the rest of society doesn't agree with you. You live in this little Reichstag bubble.
That's not how I form my beliefs.
Yeah,
I don't form
and I know this is how you're used to conducting a conversation because I know how Rumble goes. You're just going to keep talking, but there's no way you can fucking talk over me. It's a really dumb idea.
Doing that the whole time.
Yes, because you're on my stream, bitch. Welcome to the fucking jungle.
You're dishonest about the format
I'm dishonest.
of the show.
Wrong.
I know
No.
you are.
Let's okay. Pause it there. I'm going to go straight to Twitter. I've got the receipts.
Yes, please go to Twitter and get the receipts.
Oh, the problem is that you only started messaging me because you never followed me. So now, all right, say some stupid shit about violence about women. I know. Now I've got to go sifting through the fucking replies, which is.
Don't waste your time because you're going to find out that I'm right and then you're not going to read them.
I've been right about everything tonight so far, so
Literally not
don't
been
worry
right
about it.
a single thing.
Oh, do go on.
But I wanted to say, I mean, so many of your arguments are just so played out, and they're like hundreds of years old at this point. But like,
That's your only counter argument.
I think there is a huge difference between a career criminal overdosing on drugs under a cop's knee
there it
and
is.
dying once he
So,
got to the ER.
Yep, there it
and
is.
an innocent
Yep.
man being
Oh, your arguments are so tired. This is so tired and so played out. I've heard this shit for years, man. Lame. So true. So true. All right. Do you have any other little nuggets of wisdom? Because I'm ready to wrap it up. I'm going to have a Twitter after party. So if you want to join us on Twitter, we'll take it there. But I'm done being on camera. How about you?
You know, I did kind of want to get into the theistic kind of stuff a little bit, but it seems like
Okay.
you're itching to run away, so we can maybe
No. Listen. Hang on. No. I'd love. I'll tell you what. You host. I'll join, so you can meet me whenever the fuck you want, and we'll party on Twitter. I literally do. I smoke. I drink. I do other things. I have a very fun, active life apart from sitting in front of a camera all day, and I need to fucking smoke. So yeah, host, invite me, and we'll talk theist stuff on Twitter.
That'd be awesome. Are you sure you're going to be up for it?
Anyway, thanks everybody for coming. I'd like to thank my very special guest, BFTV, and it's been real, man.
For sure.
So. Good night. Good luck. Take care of each other. And I'll see you on Twitter.
Okay. Good night. Thanks for having me.